Just what you choose to do in that world is up to you.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Young here and welcome to a trailer analysis of Grand Theft Auto Online. Rockstar has recently released the first gameplay trailer for GTA 5's multiplayer mode, and I'm sure most of you will agree that it looks absolutely fantastic. To celebrate, I've decided to break down the trailer piece by piece and analyze it for your viewing pleasure. It goes without saying that you should watch the trailer itself first if you haven't done so yet. Anyways, without further ado, let's dive right into it. Right off the bat, we are shown footage of a fighter jet flying across the beautiful city of Los Santos. If you look closely, you will notice that this particular scene is the exact same one from the teaser we saw in the GTA 5 gameplay trailer released a month ago. Both bits of footage feature the same two helicopters. The same fighter jet flying at identical angles. The same apartment complex, along with the same structures in the background. Moving on, we're given a look at a customized car created by this player character. Once players earn enough money in online, they can purchase and customize their own cars. Now, those worried about leaving their cars in public places in this online environment, do not worry, other players cannot steal your cars. If they try, the doors will simply be locked. However, other players can damage or even blow up your car, so you do have to be a bit wary. But to counterbalance that, anyone that blows up other players' cars in a non-hostile environment or attempts any behaviors that may negatively affect the gameplay experience of others will receive what Rockstar calls bad sports stats. Get enough of those and players will be punished, although the punishments were not detailed. Furthermore, players can get car insurance on ones that aren't stolen, so if their car does get blown up, they will be delivered another one. Another thing to note about this scene is the fact that two players are riding the motorcycle at once. Cars may hold up to 4 people depending on the type. In the next shot, another player is added to the scene as he makes an entrance with a helicopter. This entire scene is showing off one way players can work together to perform missions and get around obstacles. And bam! There's the official logo of the game, pretty standard stuff. We are then taken to the natural side of Los Santos. The scene shows off a number of vehicles from the airplane in the sky, the 4 or 5 different boats roaming around, to the emerging submarine. Rockstar mentioned in an interview that underwater gameplay would not play a big role in GTA Online when it launches, but could be further explored in future downloadable content. Anyways, after the scene concludes, we are taken inside the apartment of one of GTA 5's characters. GTA Online takes place shortly before the events of GTA 5, so while GTA Online is treated as a separate entity from its single-player counterpart, it does still allow players to meet and interact with slightly younger versions of GTA 5 characters. These characters will offer players missions and support throughout their online experience. Also, loving all these posters in the background, particularly the Illuminati poster here. And here we are shown a player avatar. Players will have access to a character creation when they boot up the game for the first time. Unfortunately, we never really get a look at the character creation in this trailer, but I would expect it to offer extensive options to ensure that no two players look exactly alike. I'm also hoping that players can modify their body types to add further variety. We are then taken to another cooperative scene, this time showing off 4 players working as a crew to assault this government facility for whatever reason. Combat and gameplay in general seems to be a direct translation from GTA 5, right down to the weapons wheel, which features a slot for each weapon type you'll find in the game. Here's a comparison to the weapon wheel from the single-player gameplay trailer. I find it interesting that Franklin has a rifle in the slot for what I assume to be reserved for submachine guns. Perhaps players are given 2 slots for either submachine guns or rifles. The rest of the slots, on the other hand, have remained consistent throughout. In the wheels of both footage, there are slots for pistols, my guess of 2 slots for submachine guns or rifles, 1 for sniper rifles, 1 for hand-to-hand combat, 1 for shotguns, 1 for heavy weapons, and 1 for throwing weapons and explosives. Another thing to keep in mind about GTA Online's weapon wheel is the fact that when it's brought up, it doesn't slow down time like in the single-player game. In fact, any kind of special ability is taken away from the player, as noted by the missing yellow bar at the bottom left corner below the minimap. Next up, we get a look at what seems to be a GTA Online specific minigame. arm wrestling, which will likely translate to a button mashing contest between players. The reason I doubt this is in single player mode is because button mashing against an AI doesn't really sound all that fun, but who knows. Next, we are shown other ways players can have fun together. It doesn't always have to be about chaos and explosions. Players can go and engage in recreational activities as well, activities like base jumping. Notice that on the minimap there's a marker that looks like a parachute. Perhaps that is the target that these players have to aim for. Next up, we are shown a nice shot of beachside Los Santos with an airplane passing by. According to the narrator, players will begin their journey by flying into Los Santos. Once players set foot on the city, the game itself will guide players through its many new systems and mechanics by giving them missions through GTA 5 characters like Lamar and the chubby dude from a few minutes ago. These missions will serve as tutorials to ensure that new players learn where they can find certain shops and stores, how moving and shooting works, etc. Quite similar to the first few missions of single-player GTA games, actually. Furthermore, it'll give players some money to get started on. In the next scene, we are shown two players escaping from the police. One of the players is the guy in the motorcycle, who looks like the same player character from way back. The other character is the one driving the car. The latter is likely far into the game, considering he has over 100 grand to spend. For those doubtful that the guy in the motorcycle is involved in the escape, if you look closely, you can see that the same man is right in front of the car, fleeing from the cops. You can get a better view of him in the next shot. Then we are taken to the city to get a nice view of a player character stealing a car. Keep in mind that while stolen cars are good for getting around quickly, they do not have some of the perks of buying and owning a car. First things first, if you don't change your license plate to something custom, cops may spot you as you are driving around your stolen car. Second, certain car shops may not deal with stolen cars, meaning that most of the time, players won't have perks such as the ability to customize, paint, repair, and modify stolen cars. Finally, players can't get stolen cars insured. Insurance is what allows players to recover cars that they have bought and customized when they are damaged or destroyed, which is a perk that stolen cars won't get. So it is encouraged that players buy their own custom car at some point, rather than relying on stolen cars all the time. In the next scene, we are shown one of GTA Online's heist missions in session. In this particular mission, they are robbing the Pacific Standard Bank. Bank robberies are some of the highest rewarding types of missions one can engage in, but also more difficult than average robberies. In the next scene, we are shown classic multiplayer deathmatch. Players can find markers around the game world that they can travel to in order to set up a match. After hovering over the marker, players can invite online friends or players around the vicinity to join in, and if they accept, they'll be instantly teleported to the deathmatch location. Furthermore, before the deathmatch begins, players will be prompted with a pre-match menu that allows them to change some of the match's settings. Next up is a sneak peek of golf, which is also found in the single-player game. In fact, most if not all mini-games from the single-player game will make it into online one way or another, except this time the games allow multiple players to engage in the same activities. We are then taken back to chaos in the next scene as we witness a group of players robbing this plane known as the Titan. I wonder how many players at a time can board one of these giant planes. We are then given a look at character customization. Players can go to hair salons or barbershops to choose from a number of hairstyles and colors. They can go to stores to buy some new outfits. They can go to weapon shops to buy weapons and mod them with attachments like flashlights. And of course, players can choose to spend their money on buying and customizing their own car. Players can even go about buying their apartments through the game's real estate system. These apartments are perfect places to get a break from the chaos ensuing outside, and they are also great places for players to meet, to go over strategies for missions and heists, or to simply plan their day in this online world. And for the car enthusiasts, they can also go buy garages to store their collection of cars. Money can also be spent on stocks and shares, a gameplay feature that will be added to GTA Online after the game launches. However, the feature will be available at launch for the single-player game. In the next couple of scenes, we are shown a variety of races. Players can organize race events on land, air, and sea. Most impressive of all about these minigames is that they look like they could be full retail games. Before I skip to the next scene, I would like to rewind for a second and direct your eyes to the tattoo sign. Tattoos have been confirmed for single player, and while this feature hasn't been shown off in the GTA Online trailer, expect to be able to add tattoos to your online avatar as well. Next up, we are introduced to a new character that I don't think we have had the chance to meet in any past footage. If you guys have any idea who this is, be sure to let our nation know in the comments below, but it's safe to say that we will meet this character through Franklin in Grand Theft Auto 5. We are then shown a couple more scenes that once again show off cooperative play, until we reach this bit of footage right here, which shows off the ability for players to access the internet, a feature that was introduced in Grand Theft Auto 4. While GTA 4 did feature online shopping websites, players couldn't really purchase anything from them. It looks like that will change in GTA 5. For now, at least we know for sure that players can purchase large vehicles like private jets for a bargain price of $1,150,000. Hell, I'll take 4. Actually, add 3 more to that for my unborn children. Anyway, soon after, we are given a look at one of GTA Online's most exciting features, the ability for players to create their own content. Players can design their own races and death matches by placing checkpoints, spawn locations, weapon locations, props and objects, etc. These custom-made races or death matches can then be shared with the world for them to enjoy. Creators themselves can also try content made by others. And as more time passes, eventually the creator tool will expand to perhaps allow players to create entire missions. They're still fiddling around with the tool, so only time will tell how powerful this tool will end up being. To conclude the trailer, we are shown one last example of cooperative play as multiple players attempt a heist mission through the use of all kinds of vehicles until the camera pans to a twilight view of the beautiful city of Los Santos. And with that, I conclude my trailer analysis for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to let our nation know in the comments below if I missed anything or if I got something wrong. And to be further updated on Grand Theft Auto, be sure to join the nation and subscribe to Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much, and Young out!